Hello, my name is Maria Norgård. I am the president of DAMA Norway, and I'm very happy to have the opportunity to tell you a little about what we do here in DAMA Norway. So let's get started. DAMA Norway exists for the purpose to standardize and formalize data management in Norway. We want to increase the competency and knowledge within data management because we see there's a huge demand for it. It's definitely needed. And there's not really that many other organizations that can fill this space in the same way that we think DAMA Norway does. Our core values reflect the kind of organization we want to be and strive to be every single day. We want to be open, available, and inclusive for everyone. We want to be relevant for both professionals of all kinds, all industries, all businesses, and likewise students. We want to be neutral. That comes to vendors, products, all kinds of different things. We want to be a neutral ground where people can get together and discuss data management from different angles. And lastly, but also very importantly, we want to be ethical and honest. As we see, that's a topic that's really coming up on the agenda when it comes to AI and use of data. It's extremely important that our organization reflects that through its entire existence. Some of our goals, of course, we have different strategic goals that differ from year to year or even quarter to quarter, but we have some fundamental goals that are always present, that we're always working to reach. So our goals, as you can see here, we have 6 of them. We want to increase the competency and knowledge when it comes to data management. We want to standardize and formalize the way we speak and think about a lot of central components of data management to make it easier to collaborate and reduce misunderstandings, which are frequent. And we want to facilitate for and encourage sharing of experience. So we want to break down those silos across industries, across different geographical locations, and even within companies. We want to stay relevant. It's extremely important that we don't just get lazy and sit back and expect the benefits to come from what's previously been discussed. So we want to not necessarily jump on every new buzzword, but we want to make sure we address what's relevant in the data management community at any given time. Very importantly, we want to have a positive effect on society. So we don't exist only for the most data savvy data management professionals out there. We want to be able to serve that segment, of course, but also the people who might just know a teeny little bit about data or maybe feel a bit scared about data at all. So we want to make sure that everyone can have the opportunity to learn more about data and data management because everyone are affected by data and data management in modern societies today. And finally, we want to utilize and support the network that we create as DAMA Norway, but also that DAMA International creates and supports across the globe, and also that Dataforeningen, the Norwegian Computer Society that we're also part of, actually that we can leverage all the value that we have in these networks. So a very short summary slide here. We were founded in February 2019. Formally, we did work with DAMA Norway from 2018 on, but that's when we were formally established. We are part of the Norwegian Computer Society, or the Norske Dataforening, as it's called, which is around 7,000 members strong in Norway. We're also affiliated to DAMA International, of course, as any chapter is. We represent Norway's perspectives and contributions into the global data management society. So we do have, of course, a lot of focus on what's happening or what's relevant for Norway, but also we have a big focus on creating content, having events, etc., also in English, and trying to balance that out of hitting our market and our segment at home here in Norway, but also reaching out because data management is, of course, a global phenomenon where we can learn a lot from each other across boundaries. We are 6 board members, as you can see in these lovely pictures. We're working very, very hard, and I just need to brag of these amazing people who work for only the pleasure of seeing our goals fulfilled and more people learning more about data management. That's amazing to see how this is truly fueled by voluntary force and just the enthusiasm about data management and what we do. That's amazing, and it's, if not unique, it's quite special, I think. You don't see that every day all over. So I'm very grateful for that. DAMA International, of course, we're part of that. I'm not gonna tell you all that much about it. Hope you enjoy the conference and really see all that DAMA can offer, because it is a lot. And of course, we're using the DAMA-I's framework, data management body of knowledge, the CDMP, certified data management professional certification, all of these amazing assets that DAMA International can actually contribute with. We're of course accessing that in Norway and greatly appreciate that. Big part of standardization and formalization, of course, having this framework and certification that we can unite around. So a little about the Norwegian Computer Society. This is the largest network for IT in Norway. It's several decades strong. They have different working groups, they call it, or subject matter groups. So we're one of those. And similarly, they have one for AI, one for responsible use of data and AI. They have one for business intelligence and analytics, and the list goes on and on and on. They have these groups all over Norway, and it's all voluntarily run. So it's really well aligned with the principles of DAMA, that it's voluntarily run, it's not for profit, of course, it's vendor neutral, all these things, they really align well, the Norwegian Computer Society and DAMA as a whole. So that's great. DAMA Norway really contributes into the Norwegian Computer Society. Of course, it's a mutual beneficial relationship that we think that we have a very important aspect of technology, data, that was maybe a bit missing before. They already had, of course, the analytics, AI bit, but the data management bit wasn't very present. And as we all know, data management is the fundamental necessity to do AI, to do analytics successfully. And you need good data quality. In order to have that, you probably need some level of data governance, etc., etc. So let's talk a little about what we actually do. I want to take you through a year with DAMA, almost at the year end. Just to exemplify a bit, what do we actually do? And I've called this achievements because I'm so proud of this lovely team. Remember, it's more or less 6 people, and then we have some additional contributing teams, but still this is a small core group of very devoted people that are making this happen. And of course, all the lovely participants that come on our events and share their experiences, and that's where the real value lies. That's when we're really getting some interesting events, and people can get more than just the textbook summary of things. They can actually get some real life examples, and that's where we're really getting into where we want to be as an organization, creating this network and everything. So let's jump into it. Let's do it by halves. So the first half this year, a lot of stuff happened. I'm going to try to be quick about this, but it's going to take some time because it's been a lot. So first of all, we entered a partnership with Colibra, which we're very happy about, our first official partner. We are a vendor neutral and not for profit. So the partnerships we enter are, it's very important that they are meant to contribute, of course, with some resources for us to be able to deliver events, deliver different activities to our members to create value. But it also, our partners are picked very consciously that it's not just about money, it's also about competency and what they can actually bring into our community. So that's very important. And we never sneak any promotional materials or anything in there. It's always very open, very transparent. That's extremely important. So we're very happy to have Colibra on our team as a big and very competency-heavy player out there in the data management field. We also have some articles that we write, so we write contents. And the first one in January, we had a series on data ethics where we had 3 different articles attacking the topic from 3 different angles. So they're pretty cool. You can check them out on our website. We did a CDMP training and certification round. Then we have our great newsletter called The Data Nugget. I love it. It's filled of little joyful nuggets of data wisdom, you could say. And that's a monthly newsletter that we share. And we have a separate editorial team that work on that, that also the board contributes to. But we do have independent writers, contributing writers, as we call them. And we're always welcoming different members of the data management community in Norway, but also in different countries to come and write for us. So if you have any interesting ideas or want to join in on the fun, then just let us know. And we're always happy to have more different opinions and inputs on this. This is a newsletter that's supposed to contribute to our goals. So it's supposed to help people learn about data management from a lot of different perspectives and also on different levels. So it's for the experts, but also the novices or people who are maybe experts in one field but new to another. And we try to balance that out. So it's devoted for data management topics, but quite a big variations of angles and levels of complexity we write in, which can be fun to sort of surf a bit on those different waves in different directions. Then we have different events, so webinars, a lot now in these days, but also some physical events now, more and more. So we had a event on data ethics in February, a joint collaboration with the rest of the EMEA region, European, Middle East, and Africa. That was great, like this conference. Then in March, we had a great collaboration kickoff with the former president of DAMA Norway that became an ambassador for the CDO MIT group in Norway, which we're very happy for, and we'll now we're getting some activities, joint efforts in that area. In March, we had our council meeting and we got a new board elected. Very exciting. That was the people you saw on the slide that summarized DAMA Norway as an organization. In April, the former president, Jeffrey van Eisendorn, Joshi van Eisendorn, I always mix up the, the order, and I, the current president, Maria, we went and talked about data ethics in enterprise data world, which was great, amazing to see this large community gather in these conferences, though online. Then we had an event on data governance. We were awarded the Hyperite Nordic 100 in data analytics and AI, which is a great achievement. We're very happy, humbled by that. Lovely to see that our work is actually recognized, and it seems like people like it, which of course encourages us to continue. And we hope that we're sort of hitting the a spot in the market, or we're hitting what's it called, requirement, or something that's actually needed out there. That's our ultimate goal. Then we had an event on telling your data story. We had a new CDMP training and certification round. We have worked a lot with the Norwegian Computer Society to rejuvenate and help that organization a bit. Then we had an event on data quality, and also finally an event on the CDO business case. We've been working a lot on LinkedIn. That's our main digital channel other than our website. So we're not in a lot of social media. We're not on Facebook, Twitter, etc. yet. Maybe we will be one day. But with limited resources, we've chosen LinkedIn as our main channel. Now we're at 600 something followers. And from not having that long of a track record, we're very happy with that. And we hope to, of course, expand that audience and keep on delivering interesting stuff in the channel, so it's worth following. We also launched a podcast, a new channel. So we have our website, we have the newsletter Data Nugget, we have our LinkedIn digital channel, and then we have now the podcast called DAMA. So those are our main channels. Of course, email is also a contact channel. And Metadama is a really cool podcast that you should check out. I'm not biased at all, but honestly, it is. A lot of the episodes are in Norwegian because we really want to cater to the Norwegian market, and it's easier to have these intimate, close-up, tell us the real story kind of conversations in our own native tongue. So you can see I'm struggling sometimes in English myself, but we do have several episodes in English, so do check those out if you're not a Norwegian native speaker, and if you are lucky enough to know Norwegian, then you can check them all out. There's a lot of good content there. This whole Metadama podcast is dedicated to experience sharing, so getting some very data management savvy people specialized in different topics talking about some very relevant key topics, specialized. So it's at least, again, I'm biased, but I find them very educational and very useful and quite hands-on, rich with examples and real life descriptions. Pretty proud about Metadama, if you couldn't tell. In July, we took a little holiday, more or less at least. We need that too. We're not robots, we're people. But then in August, of course, we kicked off with Data Nugget, our monthly newsletter again. Also, Metadama, our new podcast, is running more or less monthly. We have some months with several episodes, and they're just keeping on coming. If you have some cool stories that you would like to share, maybe some good old failure stories as well are very important to share. What did you learn from that? Then contact us and we can see if maybe we can create an interesting conversation and an episode around it. From August, we gained another partner, Bouvet, a consulting company, which we're also very happy to join forces with. They do a lot of educational stuff, training, certifications, very strong in that area. And we look forward to broadening our range of partners. That's also an important concept, that we have several partners. So great kicking that off. We've already had an event teaming up with them, and with great results. So that was not this one. We had a data virtualization event with someone called Tipco sharing their hands-on experience with this, which is always good to have companies and people working directly with the topic, sharing their hands-on experience. That's always like where we really get to the good stuff, right? That's one example of that. We had a data mesh meetup where NAV, I guess that's translated to as much as the labor and welfare service in Norway, which is big. They're very digitized. It sounds very old-fashioned and like paper mill kind of organization, but they're highly digitized, very good in that area. They shared how they work with data mesh. Very interesting, very hot topic in the fall of 2021. Then we had another council meeting, important sort of administrational stuff. In October, we had the DM book club. So every year, every fall, we have a book club dedicated to the data management body of knowledge, which is an informal yet great way to really get yourself started, kick yourself in the ass and get going on reading this whole big book, which it is, we have to admit. And it's great doing that as a group and discussing it together to also get even more learning out of it and get some practical examples also attached to the theory. I find very great personally. We have this every year, every fall as a regular event because it's very popular and it's just a core fundamental element of DAMA as a organization to focus on this framework and really share it, to try to standardize and formalize, do that bit. Then we had a second follow-up workshop on data mesh. I was part of facilitating it together with some people from Beauvais and others from our board, and that was challenging and very rewarding task. Loved it. And we've also written an article on data mesh to try to stay relevant, on the recent topics. Then we've done a CDMP training and certification again. We have a very high demand for it. We're seeing more and more in Norway. Organizations are aware of this certification, and they want that kind of competency. They need it, and they appreciate this kind of standardization of it, which is great. That is exactly what we want to contribute. Just make it easier for companies and data management professionals to talk about skills and competencies. Then very excitingly, also now in November, we were put on the shortlist, I think, or the final nominee list for the Data Analytics AI Readiness Award, DARE Awards in the Nordics, which is wonderful. Again, being this is also by Hyperite, and wonderful being appreciated for the work we do, and really, really motivates us to keep going. So highly grateful for that, and also super interesting to have a look at that list and learn a bit more about these very knowledgeable data management professionals in the Nordics. So in Norway and in our neighboring countries. Very interesting. We're also providing some lectures on BI, the Norwegian Business School, which is great, really channeling our wisdom. Sounds so conceited, but channeling what we know about data management into the world of academics and academia, just definitely needed. I don't know how it is in your country, but in Norway, it's data management is sort of getting on the agenda, but it's still very underrepresented in your university courses. So you learn a lot about maybe building a database, but not how to manage it and govern the data in it and make sure the data quality is good enough, etc. So that's our goal, to try to channel these topics into academia as well. Then we're launching something really interesting for basically a forum for CDOs in Norway to create a neutral forum where CDOs can meet, help each other, share experiences. Very exciting. Don't think this has been done in Norway ever before, as far as I'm aware, at least on a formal national level. Very excited to see the results of this. Then we're doing, or have done in November, an Infonomics event. And in December, of course, we had the DAMA EMEA conference, this one, very excited about it. And then we're going to be so tired we need a Christmas holiday, because it's been a great year. This is an example of DAMA Norway's activities. As you can see, there's a lot going on. I'm not going to go through all of this, but basically, if you sort of simplify, we do mainly 4 things. We do the formal training and certification, the DMBOK CDMP. We do webinars and workshops, so not necessarily linked to the DMBOK framework and CDMP, but more about what's relevant topics in data management today, who are interesting speakers, who has some great stories to share, maybe some epic failures that we can all learn from, or some great wins. Then it's content creation. So that's all about our newsletter, Data Nugget, where we both sort of channel already existing content, but also write our own content. The different articles that we're showcasing through the newsletter and our website and other channels, and the DAMA podcasts that we're very, very proud about. And finally, networking and socializing, creating these forums, networks, mingling, just tying people together. I'm not going to go through the whole calendar because we sort of basically did that. But as you can see, there's basically stuff going on all the time, which we love. This is because we have a lot of active members, a lot of demand out there for this content. And that's what fuels us, makes us happy and motivated to just keep on pushing those topics out there. So that's great. Content that we create, as mentioned, we have these articles. So one example of that was this data ethics article series, 3 different articles looking into the topic of data ethics, ethical AI from different angles. So here's one that I wrote with our great contributing writer, Johan Johansson, on the importance of roles, organization around working with data ethics in these larger, more formal organizations, companies. On the right, you see our podcasts, some of them from the podcast DAMA. So data strategy, how to engage your stakeholders, demands of data management, how to get started with data management and sustainability, data and culture, cybersecurity and dark data. A lot of these topics might spark some interest, I hope. So feel free to have a look in Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts. It should be available, DAMA. Check it out. Great for commutes or walking the dog. I often do that. It's nice to just have it on your ear. Finally, the channels. Our main channel is our website. Here you see it. Screenshot of it. Here you find lots of different contents, our articles, some information about DAMA International, about DAMA Norway. So in addition to LinkedIn, where it's more about maybe what's happening and interesting articles, this is the website is where you sign up for activities. So if you're a member or you just want to check out our activities, then follow us on LinkedIn to get those nudges. And then you go to the website to actually sign up to events. Finally, almost finally, I want to mention we have partnerships options, gold, silver, bronze. I'm not gonna bother you with all the details, but if you are interested, get in touch and we can see if that's something that could be beneficial both ways and interesting. We have a lot of different things to work with, and we definitely always need extra hands, especially in these topic working groups that are mentioned on the right-hand side, and also Data Nugget contributing writers. We're always looking for more people there. So if you're a data management professional and you want to contribute, volunteer for this, then let us know. And yeah, always happy to have more good people on the team. If you want to connect with us, as mentioned, LinkedIn is our main site. We have our newsletter, Data Nugget, listen to DAMA. You can sign up for activities on our website, contact us on our email, dama@dnd.no. And of course, you can become a member. Then you get different discounts. A lot of our content, most of it actually is free for members or strongly discounted for members. So that's it's recommended. So that's it for now. Thank you for listening. I hope you really enjoy the conference, which we have tried our best to contribute to and create some valuable content for. I am greatly passionate and appreciative of the DAMA community. So thank you for being part of that, and hope to see you on our next activity.